treasure chest filled with tools to equip you so that you can wisely go and seek out the once hidden things of God. With this in mind, it is my honor to compose a foreword for Prophetic Secrets. Thank you, Jennifer, for living a life worthy of the cause of Christ and for loving God, your family, and the church so well. We need more prophets and prophetic believers who walk their talk and talk their walk. Well done. James W. Gall, author, international speaker, and founder of God Encounters Ministries and Gall Ideation. Introduction. I had just experienced a powerful, life-changing visitation of the Lord. I was in awe of the depth of this precious and holy encounter, which changed my life completely in just moments. I knew I would never be the same. Within hours of this happening, however, an unexpected persecutor rose up against me. Without disclosing the details, I will say that the absolute worst betrayal is when someone in your circle turns on you abruptly. Over the tense weeks and months that ensued, I happened to be doing a series of online sessions with one of my mentoring groups. The technical coordinator for these sessions had raised the idea to consider minister and prophet James Gall for an online session interview. I knew James hardly at all, having met him just once several years beforehand at a conference. I had read several of his books, though, and enjoyed every one of them. Then we proceeded with an official invitation to James, and he graciously accepted. As James and I journeyed through the interview, to my utter surprise, he began to prophesy powerfully over my life. First, he began by speaking out a word of knowledge. A word of knowledge, one of the 9 gifts of the Holy Spirit mentioned in 1 Corinthians 12, 7 through 10, is knowing a fact about someone, either present or past, that you could not possibly know unless the Holy Spirit revealed it to you. The word of knowledge also has the uncanny ability to unleash faith in the recipient to fully receive a prophetic word about the future when they are communicated together. In summary, James told the viewing audience my secret prayer that I had been praying for months. I had been praying before the Lord out of Psalm 51:10 that He would create in me a clean heart. And for no particular reason at the time, except that I felt led of the Spirit to pray it over myself. Then He prophesied specifically that I would become one of the leading trainers of prophetic wisdom in this generation, with a big emphasis on the phrase, prophetic wisdom. This prophetic word from the Holy Spirit, now given voice through Prophet James Gall, launched the creation of this audiobook that you are now listening to. Prophetic Secrets, Learning the Language of Heaven, is about the supernatural gift of prophecy, the powerful voice of God, and the multiple dimensions of prophetic language and spiritual happenings that coincide with it. In this book, I explain concepts that normally are not explained or have not been given adequate language for understanding until now. As for the persecution I had experienced, I do not always understand why things happen the way they happen. I was definitely in a spiritual battle, and the Lord chose to answer my prayers this time by preparing a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Psalm 23:5. Unbeknownst to him, not only did James prophesy point for point, an opposite word for each accusation, but later in the broadcast, he addressed a territorial spirit, specifically a Leviathan spirit, something I had already discerned as the spiritual root of the attack. Think very carefully through the series of events that took place. First, a divine visitation, followed by persecution, which culminated in a prophetic word that ushered in this book that you are listening to now. Also consider the remarkable redemption of God's prophetic ministry in and through my life, given my background in a largely known false religion that boasted in having a superior prophet, along with prevailing prophetic revelation.